Hi guys, and welcome back to the Flies You Must Have series. I hope you're enjoying this series, and the fly we're going to look at today is a variation of the black cruncher. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The hook in the vise is a Hanak H230 barbless hook. This one's at size 10, it's on a medium wire and it's finished in black nickel. The thread I'm going to be using today is from Trout Line. It's a Sumo GSP thread at 50 denier, and as you can see, it's black. As always with the GSP threads, we're going to start with getting a tiny spot of super glue onto the shank of the hook to make sure we don't get that nasty body rotation in our completed pattern. So, first thing I'm going to do is I've caught in behind the eye and I'm working a bed of thread down just past the point, so it would rest where a barbed hook would be if you were using a Camazan, for example. So first things first, we're going to add the tailing fibres. Now I like to use a large feather from a cockcape, and I've got one here that I've been working away with. As you can see, these fibres here, and the reason I use cock hackle is it still gives the structure and appearance of a tail, but when trout start to smash the fly, it won't be brittle and broken off like a pheasant tail fibres would. So it just makes a really effective tail. I'm going to dress it up. I want it just shy the body length on this pattern. I'm going to catch it in like so. And then I can come in with my scissors, excuse my fingers, and just take that away. Whoops, missed a bit. There we go. So next thing then is our wire rib, and what I'm going to be using for that is 0.2mm silver wire from Semperfi, and again I have got a piece that I've been working away with. Now this fly as part of the Flies You Must Have in Your Box series, and the series is about flies that have done particularly well for me over many years. And this is a fly that comes from Buell originally, and it was an England qualifier, I believe, and I was in Buell Strait and nothing was working. I could not get a fish for love nor money, and I had these flies that I'd sort of tied up. They're very, very drab and not much to them, but I thought, I'll give it a go, and I put a size 10 on the point, and I just started to pick up fish steady away, and I think I ended up with my full bag of fish that day on these patterns. In fact, after about 3 fish on the point, I put one on the top dropper, and they started coming to that as well. So in the end, I was fishing 4 flies exactly the same. They were all size 10, and they did an absolutely brilliant job for me. Got me through that qualifier. So the body of the fly is pheasant tail. It's black, and I'm going to just take that off the stem. Now, if you're enjoying this little mini series, if you like, please do let me know in the comment section below, and I'd love to know what you think of this fly. So I'm going to catch the pheasant tail in along the length of the body. Now the trick with this is to get your thread back just as far as you did with the copper wire. Now I just want to make sure I've got a nice even base for that to come down on. I'm going to get some extra wraps into the thorax area here. I did fish that on a midge tip, if I recall rightly. It was a lot of years ago, so forgive me if I'm wrong. It might have been a floater, but I could have swore it was a real 3-foot midge tip. Back in the heyday when Buell was an absolute pleasure to fish, a stunning fishery. Now what's happened is I've just lost some of my pheasant tail, so I'm going to come back and just try and pick that up again. It didn't snap, it just came out off my clip, and it's because I didn't grab it far enough down. I've got it this time, I hope, and I can start to bring the material up. Yeah, Buell was a stunning fishery. I've spent many a Saturday when I used to go and fish, and it used to be a huge club as well, with a lot of anglers meeting up on the Saturday morning in the cafe above the sailing club, and you could get a breakfast and you could get a great deal of banter, as I recall. There was some characters in amongst the Buell Bridge boys, and not to mention fantastic anglers. I learned an awful lot from them boys back in the day. So I'm going to bring my wire rib round. I'm looking for about 4 turns of wire rib. And once I've got that in place, I can then bring my rib all the way at the front here and capture that in with a couple of turns. Now, once I've got it secured, I can let go. I'm going to just make sure I trap this in. A couple of turns in front, then I can tilt my vise to see where my wire's finished and simply helicopter it away. So, there we go. It's looking pretty good so far. Now, size-wise, I would tie this down to a size 12. Not much smaller, to be honest. I have tied them smaller, but had very little success. So the optimal sizes for me is size 10 and size 12. So next then we're going to tie in the thorax, and what I have here is some trout lines, peacock herring. This has been hand picked, and a lot of herring now that you get, it's really not very bushy. So what I mean by bushy is these fibres coming off the herring stem. I think it's important that you get nice bushy ones for this fly. Other patterns it doesn't matter so much, but this one I like to have the best herring I can get hold of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my thread all the way back now, and what I'm looking for is that 4th turn of silver wire that I made, and that's where I'm going to start my thorax. So I've got that trapped in. I'm going to bring my thread to the front of the hook. Notice I've not brought the thread right up to the eye because we've still got to tie in our hackle here, so it's worth remembering. A lot of people, it's a mistake if you bring your thread all the way up to the eye of the hook, you leave yourself no room to tie in a hackle or a wing. So I'm going to grab my peacock herring, start bringing that round. Now I'm going to leave plenty of room at the front, and I want to use as much of this peacock herring as I can. So I'm going to come back over it and back through a really bushy, quite a heavy thorax I suppose, but the idea is it helps to splay out your hackle fibres when you're fishing it. So I've caught that in. A couple of turns in front, then I'll just come in with my scissors and take away the end. So that's looking pretty good. Now this also works extremely well as a with a pearl thorax. So what I do with the other pattern that I have similar to this is I build like a rugby ball shape with thread, and I catch in some pearl, and then I wrap the pearl around to create the thorax, and that can be super effective as well. But if I had to compare the two, I'd have this in my box before any other fly really, in regards to this style. So what I'm going to do next is grab my hen cape. It's a bit worse for wear, I might need to get another one. And what I want to do is take a feather from the hen cape that I've got here, and what I want is the very tip of it. So I'm looking for the tip to catch in like so. Now, depends on what effect you want to achieve here, how you apply this hackle. You can put in a very sparse I'll just show you what I've done there off camera. I've created this Christmas tree type effect. You can have a very sparse hackle, which will allow the fly to sink a little quicker in the water column, or you can have an extremely bushy hackle, which will keep the fly up in the water column a bit longer. So I've caught that in. I'm going to grab my hackle pliers again, and then I'm going to bring my hackle around. As I bring it on top, I'm just using my thumb and forefinger to sweep those fibres back out the way. Don't be worrying about crowding out the eye here. We'll address that shortly. So I'm just slowly easing them fibres back. I think I'm going to go for one more turn. And as I bring it round this time, I'm going to use my thread to trap that into place. Now you've got to work your way through the hackling. If you know exactly what size you want, just let me get a couple of wraps in here. You could have stripped away these fibres before you even started, so you've got that perfect hackle and you're just catching in the stem. But I'm never quite sure what I'm going to do with these, so I like to leave plenty of fibres on the feather so I can get exactly what I want. So I've got that in place now. It looks a bit of a hot mess, but we're going to come in. I've just damped down my thumb and forefinger, and I want to sweep everything back out the way like so, and then I'm going to bring my thread right to the hook eye and start to build a head like so. It's looking pretty good. Now, while keeping tension on the thread here, I can simply rip away my stalk. And what I'm going to do next is grab my my whip finish tool. I was going to say hackle pliers there, lost the plot. And I'll get a 1, 2, 3 turns whip finish and clear that up again. You'll notice that I'm getting used to using the blade for cutting the GSP, trying to save my scissor points, and it's working out a treat actually. So last but not least, we're going to add a little bit of resin to the head. You can use head cement, of course, varnish, or super glue even. It's up to you. I like to use the resin because once it's cured you can put it right into your box and you're not messing about waiting on drying time and stuff like that. So catch that in. Now the more discerning viewers amongst you will notice that I've clogged up the eye with the resin. So before I actually cure that resin, I'm going to grab the cock cape that I've got on the bench here, take a single feather, and I'm going to use this to clear the eye. Now you can use wire, you can use peacock herring actually to do this, but you've got to ensure that you get that excess resin out of the eye. You don't want to be on the river bank or on the loch, wherever you may be, and you can't get your tippet through the eye of the fly because you've clogged it up and then sealed it with your UV torch. So there we go. I just call it a black cruncher. I'm sure there's probably another name for it. There's not much new in fly tying. Thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave it a like, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free and you can unsubscribe at any time. See you in the next one.